So, I'm sure you're wondering why we're so far out of town, in the middle of the woods, away from prying eyes. I felt this was a great opportunity for us to do some team building.
Dana, Faheem, Paul, Raquel, and Joon were indeed in the middle of a small forest, at a campground that was surprisingly unbooked. This area was usually used for things like Renaissance fairs and other such things, and the landowners were fine to lease it for a team-building retreat. The other four stood in a line in front of Dana, like new recruits. In all honesty, they were new recruits. Freshly made Sparkle Guardians.
The battle we had against Columbia the day before yesterday was intense. While we sort of won, I feel that it would do us all better if we knew what we could do. This includes me too. I'm rusty when it comes to being a Sparkle Guardian. So, we're all going to have a day of playing with our powers so we can develop strategies and tactics.
So, we're just going to be experimenting and coaching one another?
Not quite. We're all going to get special training. Okay, you three can come out now.
Dana gestured to a small collection of trees and bushes in the distance. A moment later, 3 dear friends emerged out of hiding. Frankie had cut their hair, and it was now fairly short on top, perhaps being about 3 to 4 inches. They wore a pair of white pants, a light pink blazer, a dark pink shirt, and a pair of light brown loafers. Tyler wore a pair of worn stone-wash blue jeans, a pair of beat-up brown work boots, and a black rock band t-shirt he had gotten from a concert, like 4 years ago. Nicholas wore a set of maroon-colored slacks, dark brown shoes, and a brown and cream-colored argyle sweater vest, along with a cream-colored button-up shirt. As soon as the 3 emerged out in the open, the new Sparkle Guardians regarded them with wondering eyes. Dana gestured toward them.
Now, without further ado, I'm happy to introduce you to the original Sparkle Guardians. Sparkle Guardian Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades!
We really appreciate you all taking great care of Dana. Had we known that all of this was going to happen, we would have stayed in town. You can call me Zeus, or Frankie, whichever you prefer.
What's up, everybody? The name is Tyler, aka Sparkle Guardian Poseidon, aka Ass Kicker Extraordinaire. Pleased to see that you're all carrying the torch. We're going to help you get even better.
My name is Nicholas, and I am also Sparkle Guardian Hades. Dana called us and asked us to make an emergency visit. Apparently, these new Nymphians are pretty intense.
Oh, yes. The leader is named Columbia, and she's Merica's daughter. That reminds me, there is something important I need to tell you. I'll let you all introduce yourselves first, and then I'll give you some historical context about the Sparkle Guardians.
Dana gestured over to Raquel.
Wow. I'm a big fan of yours, as Mr. Poseidon already knows.
Tyler groaned, which caused the other 2 original members to glance at him. Dana merely giggled into her hand.
She's read the fanfics.
Oh, wow.
Fanfics? What fanfics?
Forget about it.
They both looked at one another and started laughing too.
Anyway, I'm Raquel, but I'm also Sparkle Guardian Persephone. I have a magic scythe called Wheat Slayer.
Oh, so you're a frontline fighter too? Great! I can give you some great tips. I was the frontline fighter for our team too. I use a trident, so I can relate to using a longer reach weapon.
Sweet! Thank you!
I can go next. I'm Paul, and I'm Sparkle Guardian Hestia. I have a riot shield that creates strong barriers and also shoots out fireballs, but not at the same time, I think.
Aha, a mixture of defense and long range. That's pretty interesting. Dana mentioned that you created a barrier to protect some innocents in your last encounter. Frankie can give you some pointers on the long range, and both Tyler and I can give you some insight on how to engage in close range fighting, perhaps using your shield as a weapon.
My lightning bolts exploded and have a small blast radius. I'm going to assume your fireballs do too?
Yeah, a little bit.
We'll give you some insight into how and when to switch from defensive to long range, to avoid friendly fire, Ha! Friendly fire! Get it?
How about you, big guy?
I am Faheem, and also Sparkle Guardian Boreas. I fly and make icy tornadoes.
Another flyer! Wait, don't you also fly, Iris?
I do, actually.
Cool! We'll circle back to you in a few moments, but I can work with both of you on flight tactics. What do you two think about the icy tornadoes?
It sounds like it's more mid-range. I can work with him on that, as I can send streams of icy water from the tip of my trident.
Just the tip?
Many people laughed, and even Tyler gave a chiding, playful smirk.
Yeah, keep laughing. I get to work with you first.
I can't wait.
And lastly, but not leastly, how about you?
My name is Joon, and I'm also Sparkle Guardian Iris. I fly, and I have this rainbow scepter that allows me to read people's thoughts and communicate telepathically. I can also transmit other people's thoughts to one another. And during the last fight, I felt the minds of those hidden from me.
So you have indirect powers. I can relate to that. With me, my main power allows me to make me invisible before our power-up.
Wait, you all had a power-up? Do we get a power-up?
We got one when we were on the brink of death. You will probably get one day. Dana, did you ever get one?
No, not yet.
Anyway, I can help you work on that mental detection, as well as figuring out how to best facilitate communication with everyone. Tyler and I can also work with you on your hand-to-hand combat, and how to best take advantage of your enemies.
And then all three of her friends whirled to face Dana.
And then there's you.
You need to keep enemies off of you and not engage with you hand-to-hand.
As the healer and the leader, you need to be able to help where you can, heal where you can, and not risk being taken out. We have some plans for you too.
Great. Where do we start?
Honestly, I want to see them transform!
Agreed.
All right, let's do it.
Dana pulled out her drachma, as did the others. All at once, they lifted their coins above their heads.
Demeter sparkling power!
Persephone sparkling power!
Hestia sparkling power!
Boreas sparkling power!
Iris sparkling power!
A familiar field of light surrounded Dana, and for a brief moment, she was cut off from the external world. Her clothes vanished and were replaced by her Demeter attire. When the light faded, she and the new Sparkle Guardians were in their powered-up visages.
Wow. You all look incredible.
I want to point out that I did not choose this outfit.
But you are rocking those sparkling purple panties.
Don't feel so bad. When I transform, I look like a stage magician rather than a badass water guardian.
And I look like a goth edgelord. Totally not what I would have chosen either.
Frankie pulled out a golden drachma, and moments later, Tyler and Nicholas did as well. All together, they raised their coins above their heads.
Zeus sparkling power!
Poseidon sparkling power!
Hades sparkling power!
There was a bright flash of light, followed by a whooshing sound. When the light faded, Sparkle Guardians Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades stood before them.
Woo! The team is back together again!
Not just that, but we're even stronger than 5 years ago. There are twice as many of us.
A pair of wings made from electricity extended from Zeus's back.
Boreas, Iris, let's work on flight tactics. I want to see your maneuverability.
Hestia, why don't you work with me for a while? We can practice using your shield more offensively when it comes to up-and-close situations.
Oh, sure thing.
Sparkle Guardian Hestia and Hades moved over to the side. Demeter peered at Poseidon.
So, I guess you'll be doing a little one-on-one with Persephone to see who the bigger man is? Spoilers, it's her.
Oh, so you have jokes! Then I'm not going to feel guilty at all.
Feeling guilty about what?
Persephone and I are going to attack you. You're going to have to keep us back with your plant powers if you want to avoid getting sliced or stabbed.
What?
I don't want to hurt her.
You won't. You see, Demeter is way stronger than what she realizes. She has to get in the practice of being able to bring it hard and fast. By the way, I thought of something interesting about you.
What do you mean?
You know how you use plant vines and stuff to fight for you? Well, you summon plants no matter where you are. Even if the ground under you couldn't support it. You had a conflict at the boot factory, right?
Yes, we did.
There are sewer pipes and infrastructure under the factory. So, unless you're summoning vines from miles deep and doing way more property damage than we could have ever dreamed, you're probably creating a space around you that will allow you to summon plants. You should have no limit to the plants that you can conjure, so we need to break through your mental block and get you to Tyler it up!
You mean let my figure go and get a beer belly?
How dare you? I was going to give you the count of 20, but now you're getting to the count of 10. Persephone, Demeter is going to unleash and not hold back. Your task is to keep the blade moving in arcs and work on twirling, twisting, and stepping. 10.
Demeter took several steps back, and she eyed both Poseidon and Persephone. Her stomach jostled nervously inside her, and she gripped her staff in front of her. There was no way she could fend off both of them. She had enough trouble against Columbia.
8.
The anxiety festered in her. She was going to fail. They would cut her. She wasn't strong enough. Everyone was counting on her, and
Why do you doubt yourself, Dana? You are more powerful than you know. Let go of your fear, your misgivings, and trust in yourself. Wait, OMG, is this happening? Is it really happening?
5.
Demeter's heart throbbed harder within her, and yet she sensed it. A great power erupting within her.
Oh, yes, it's happening. Are you ready to show these magical boys what a magical girl can do?
2.
Yes, I'm ready. Thank you for all that you've done for me.
And 1. Go, Persephone, go!
Demeter's entire body shimmered with a vibrant green hue. Both Persephone and Poseidon stopped, and they gaped in awe. Perhaps the others did as well. It was hard to focus on anything but this massive power rising within her. It felt great, like a billion flowers all blooming at once. Her cells danced within her, teeming with raw, magical energy.
Demeter's wrath!
Demeter slammed the end of her staff against the ground, and hundreds of spiked vines burst from below, lurching toward Persephone and Poseidon.